Hello, everyone. Welcome on this virtual meetup for the third anniversary of Women in Tech Brussels. I'm Loredana Asgood. I coordinate Women in Tech Brussels. We are very pleased today to welcome you and to welcome high-level speakers. We are honored with our 25 partners to welcome high-level speakers, but also many female entrepreneurs and our partners for this meetup. And yes, women in the topic of the day is women and technology, key solution beyond the crisis. For us, it was important to put this subject on the table. And yes, and the meetup will start in French, and after we will switch in English. Thank you. Victoria?
Welcome, everyone. My name is Victoria, and I'm working with Loredana in Women in Tech. So who are we and why are we doing this? Women in Tech is the first tech ecosystem in Europe, bringing together the public and private sector. We are part of 1819 Brussels, a public service from the Brussels capital region. And Women in Tech was born 3 years ago as the result of the digital plan of the region. So we are very excited celebrating this third anniversary together with all of you. What we are doing, we work with our partners to co-create positive actions and to involve more women in the digital transition. One of these actions is the Women Code Festival, which you might have heard about. Together, we aim to raise awareness of young girls and women to coding and STEM studies, to support women in creating their startups and growing, and also to increase the presence of women in the high-tech industry. So that is for us a brief introduction. Loredana.
Thank you, Victoria. First, it's a new formula because we never do a webinar, but we are happy to start. We built this ecosystem with our partners. We are now 25 from private and public sector. Together, in the last 3 years, we impacted 8,000 women and organized more than 100 events, and also doubled the creation of female startups here in Brussels. We are very happy about this achievement, and we thank very much our partners and also our community for their trust in us. And also we thank our Secretary of State, Barbara Trachte, for her support. We live now an unprecedented time by the crisis, and this crisis shows us that inequalities is increasing, and the gender gap in the digital sector is not resolved. Women are on the front line of the essential jobs as nurse, as also in the food sector, in the food chain, also in education. We will speak about that after in this meetup, and also in cleaning services, and in all support jobs. And this is also the topic of the day. And we want to see beyond the crisis those women, what all women could do together for a better world. But je vais parler en français pour commencer. Alors, je ne vais pas être plus longue parce qu'on a toute l'heure pour en parler. Nous sommes heureuses d'introduire notre secrétaire d'État, Madame Barbara Trachte, qui est secrétaire d'État à la transition économique et à la recherche scientifique. Madame Trachte, voilà, the floor is yours. Voilà, merci.
Merci beaucoup. Je suis très heureuse et très honorée d'être avec vous cet après-midi pour ce webinaire, donc qui marque les 3 ans de Women in Tech. parce qu'en fait, ce séminaire, il regroupe, il combine à la fois deux de nos priorités politiques, à la fois l'informatique, le digital et la technologie qui formera le monde d'après, pourvu qu'elle soit couplée à une résilience climatique et aussi à du progrès sur le plan social. Et bien entendu, la place des femmes dans notre société, la place des femmes dans notre société dans des lieux où les dinosaures n'auraient peut-être pas encore pu les voir. Et pourtant, sans les femmes, on ne pourrait pas se parler aujourd'hui, sans des femmes comme E-mma ou Shirley Jackson ou encore Alice Recoq qui a participé au développement des premiers ordinateurs en France. On pourrait citer ainsi des dizaines et des dizaines d'exemples de femmes qui sont actives elles aussi dans le monde, par exemple, du digital et de la technologie. Alors, depuis le début de mon mandat, j'ai vraiment le plaisir et un enthousiasme fort à participer à des réseaux de femmes entrepreneurs. Et même depuis le début de la crise, j'ai été invitée à plusieurs séances comme ce webinaire ou des séances de soutien entre femmes entrepreneurs, entre femmes qui souhaitent agir. Il en existe de nombreux à Bruxelles et donc j'ai vraiment eu du plaisir à pouvoir participer aussi à leurs actions de soutien, de sororité et d'entraide à travers cette crise, que ce soit pour simplement s'épauler, se donner des bons trucs, se donner des idées sur ce qui peut être mis en œuvre dans le monde d'aujourd'hui, dans cette crise, et dans le monde de demain, créer des e-shops, essayer de passer le cap et puis de relancer l'activité par après. 5000 femmes passent chaque année, participent aux activités de Women in Tech. C'est dire que cette sororité, cette activité commune est importante et exemplaire dans un système où encore trop de femmes ont des difficultés à se lancer dans l'entrepreneuriat. Je voyais encore récemment que 12% des demandes de crédit exposées par des femmes auprès des banques étaient refusées, alors que ce taux est de 8% pour les hommes. C'est dire que nous avons encore beaucoup de travail. Permettez-moi, et je serai très brève, aussi de mettre en avant un de vos projets en particulier, parce que défendre la juste place des femmes, c'est aussi défendre plus d'égalité, aussi entre les femmes, parce que les femmes font souvent l'objet de multiples discriminations. Et donc, je voulais mettre en avant aussi ce projet de Cyberway Finder, qui permet à des femmes éloignées du monde de l'emploi de se lancer dans la cybersécurité. Je pense que c'est important aussi dans une région comme la nôtre de pouvoir aider des femmes qui sont défavorisées et éloignées du monde de l'emploi à trouver un emploi, y compris dans le monde de la technologie ou du digital. Je suis donc très fière qu'à Bruxelles, Women in Tech existe, très fière aussi que nous soyons considérés comme une pratique exemplaire, que vous soyez considérés comme une pratique exemplaire par la Commission européenne. Nous aurions voulu, et nous voulons toujours, nous irons plus loin encore au niveau belge avec une stratégie interfédérale sur Women in Digital. Cette stratégie a été un petit peu stoppée, mise entre parenthèses, mais c'est temporaire avec cette crise. Mais c'est clair que c'est un retard que nous nous attellerons tous ensemble à combler le plus rapidement possible dès que ce sera possible. Mais donc, bousculer le vieux monde, forcer les portes, démonter les clichés sexistes et démontrer qu'il n'y a aucun domaine où les femmes feraient moins bien que les hommes, c'est votre mission. Et cette mission est aujourd'hui salutaire parce que malheureusement, elle est encore nécessaire. Je continuerai donc bien entendu à vous épauler pour la suite de votre parcours qui sera certainement aussi fructueux que ces 3 dernières années. Je vous souhaite à toutes un excellent webinaire et un excellent anniversaire. J'ai hâte de pouvoir le fêter en vrai avec vous, je l'espère très bientôt.
Merci beaucoup, Madame Trachte. Nous nous réjouissons de vous avoir accueilli aujourd'hui et aussi du travail que nous allons mener ensemble dans le futur. Alors, on est très proche de votre cabinet et donc on est heureuse de continuer le travail avec vous. Merci beaucoup.
And now I'm very honored to introduce Mariya Koleva, who is going to introduce the message of EU Commissioner Mariya Gabriel. As you know, she's the Commissioner for Research and Innovation. So Mariya Koleva, thank you very much for being with us. She has a technical issue, so her webcam is not working, but she's here with us on the phone.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon to all participants. I would like to begin by thanking the Women in Tech Brussels for organizing today's event. It is a great privilege for me to address the participants on behalf of Commissioner Gabriel, who unfortunately could not be with you personally. Commissioner Gabriel asked me to congratulate the Women in Tech Brussels on the occasion of the 3rd anniversary and to send you her best wishes for success in all your endeavors. She also entrusted me to share with you 2 key messages, focusing mainly on why it is important to have more women in the technology sector and what the European Commission is doing to help. The Commissioner believes that women's talent, expertise and potential needs to be fully unlocked in order to shape our economy and society and make them thrive. And this is fully valid for the digital sector. Women can bring great benefits to the tech sector. However, today in Europe, women hold only 17% of ICT jobs, and this underrepresentation occurs at all levels of the digital economy. Only 1 in 6 ICT specialists in the European Union is a woman, and only 1 in 3 STEM graduates is a woman. And this has to change. I think that we can all agree that something has to be done, because attracting women into digital roles will ensure the future sustainability of this rapidly growing industry. It should also change because, as Commissioner Gabriel recently pointed out, for every woman that does not have the opportunity to launch and lead a tech company, Europe loses out not only on talent and diversity, but also on better served existing and new markets. Women-led companies are better positioned to understand female customers, and today female customers influence 85% of consumer decisions globally. We also need more women in the leadership of organizations in the digital sector. We think that having both women and men represented is crucial for successful leadership. Only through inclusive and diverse leadership, decision makers can solve today's very complex challenges. Much can be said about the reasons for the gender gap in the digital sector. Some obstacles are gender bias. There are also socio-cultural constructions which at different stages of life discourage girls and women from pursuing STEM studies and careers. To overcome the existing barriers, we need to encourage women and girls to be actively involved in the digital economy and tech sector, for example, by combating digital gender-related stereotypes, promoting role models, motivating girls early on to explore STEM studies, stimulating the reskilling or upskilling of women, mentoring schemes, or just improving the image of ICT jobs. And this brings me to my second message, what the European Commission is doing to improve the situation. To address the existing challenges, the Commission has already put forward or is considering a combination of policies, investment measures, and other initiatives for better inclusion of women in tech. I will give you some examples. We will continue with such successful initiatives as the Women in Digital Strategy, Digital Skills and Jobs Coalition, EU Prize for Women Innovators. The Commission has also recently launched a new strategy for gender equality, which will be implemented in the next 5 years. The strategy reinforces the Commission's strong commitment to promote gender equality throughout all policies, and will increase even more the participation of girls and women in ICT. I also would like to share with you that later this year, the Commission will adopt the new Digital Education Action Plan, where developing digital competencies will remain a priority, and an overall objective will be to close the digital skills gap and make digital literacy a reality for all. I would also like to mention artificial intelligence, which will be one of the flagships of the digital revolution. Recently, the Commission adopted a white paper on artificial intelligence, paving the way towards AI legislation in Europe. And again, inclusivity is an important and explicit objective in the Commission's approach. Given the importance of the inspirational role models, I would also like to share with you that on the International Women's Day, Commissioner Gabriel launched the EU Women for Future campaign. And the aim of this campaign is to recognize the work of extraordinary women in the area of education, research and innovation, culture and sport. The Commissioner's approach for Horizon Europe is also bold and ambitious. The institutions are requested to have in place a clear gender equality plan, and already now under the EIC Accelerator pilot, there will be additional funding opportunities for companies with women CEOs or equivalent positions. We want to have among the best applicants invited to interviews at least 25% SMEs led by women CEOs. These are, of course, only a few examples. The work will not stop here. Women have their place in the digital sector, and this is true not only for the reasons I have just mentioned, but also because ICT leads to many career paths and provides essential skills even for everyday life. And Commissioner Gabriel will continue working on a vision on promoting gender equality in all policies in her portfolio, from education, research and innovation to culture and sport. I will stop here. I would like to thank you once again for your very kind invitation, and I wish you very fruitful discussions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Koleva, for those inspiring words and relevant words on behalf of Mariya Gabriel, the Commissioner, and thank you also for her support since the beginning and of Women in Tech Brussels. We hope to see you and to collaborate with you in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we are pleased and we are honored to welcome Mrs. Dagmar Schumacher, Director of United Nations Women in Brussels. For us, it was important to invite you because we think that this crisis shows us that we are all interconnected, and the world is a small village now, and we need to have also a global view on this pandemic and these problems. And yes, and we are very, very happy and very honored to welcome you, Mrs. Schumacher. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm really delighted to be here, and thank you to Women in Tech and Partners for this invitation, and also congratulations on your 3rd anniversary. Very important work you carry out. I would also like to welcome the presence of the Belgian government, State of Brussels, and the European Commission, as long as private sector partners and others. I would also like to thank Mariya Koleva and Commissioner Gabriel for their support on gender equality, also in the context of the recent #Women versus COVID-19 event in April, as part of the #EU versus Virus Hackathon and in celebration of Girls in ICT Day 2020. UN Women was very happy to be part of that. And also thank you for the long-term strong engagement on gender equality reflected on various occasions since many years, as you had just mentioned, Mrs. Koleva, the EU Prize for Women Innovators, for example. It's very special times we live in. Girls, women, and marginalized groups are least likely to have access to technology and be a strong STEM actor. This was already a worrisome disadvantage, and now, as the COVID-19 pandemic has moved so many aspects of daily life online, this lack of connectivity has become even more alarming. I can only say no country in the world has achieved gender equality, and also no country in the world is spared of the digital gender gap. This gap is, very unfortunately, omnipresent. But why is access to technology so important? Just a few examples. Online commerce and mobility money is now a growing phenomenon, with over 1 billion registered accounts and close to 2 billion in daily transactions. Digital products are reaching the screens of increasing numbers of low-income users, including young people. Yet 1.7 billion people, more than half of whom are women, remain financially excluded from the digital economy. This can mean that essential cash transfer programs do not reach women in times of crisis. Lockdown restrictions have left millions of girls, women, and people of all genders vulnerable to a growing shadow pandemic of violence, including cyber violence and exploitative grooming of children. For these people, technology can be a life-saving line of defense, whether via instant messaging services with a geolocation function, or free calls to domestic abuse hotlines, or discrete apps that provide disguised support and information to survivors in case of surveillance of abusers. To build on the potential of new technologies, it is essential to close the gender-digital divide, to ensure women's equal access to digital tools and an equal participation in the development of technology. In parallel, new risks such as cyber violence, threats of privacy rights, or algorithms that perpetuate unconscious bias also need to be addressed. In summary, to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals and leave really no one behind, we need digital literacy that does not discriminate, also in the field of STEM. And for all of that, we have a very special year. We are 25 years after the World Conference of Women. The Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action of 1995 is the most visionary agenda for the empowerment of women and girls everywhere. It was adopted by 189 governments committed to taking strategic, bold actions in 12 critical areas of concern. While access to technology was indeed mentioned throughout the declaration, there was at the time less emphasis on ICT, as their potential and their risks were still to be explored. In order to celebrate this 25th anniversary, the Generation Equality Forum, a civil society-centered global gathering for gender equality, is being convened by UN Women and co-hosted by the government of Mexico and France. The forum will launch a set of concrete, ambitious, and transformative actions to achieve immediate and irreversible progress towards gender equality through 6 action coalitions. Let me read those. It's gender-based violence, it's economic justice and rights, is the third one, bodily autonomy and sexual and reproductive health and rights. 4th, feminist action for climate justice. 5, feminist movement and leadership. And 6, and I'm really happy to share, is technology and innovation for gender equality. I think particularly on this last one, but of course for all the others, it's really important we are all engaged, and I'm sure also with all of you in Women in Tech Brussels, we can really move that agenda forward. We all know, of course, the Generation Equality Forum as such will now only take place in 2021 due to the crisis we are all in right now. A few examples of UN Women's work that I would like to share now and what can be done through technology. Let me bring you first to Jordan. In the Zaatari and Azraq refugee camps, even the movement of UN staff has been restricted due to COVID-19, complicating the work of reaching the people who need it most. But UN Women's innovative blockchain cash disbursement system has proven to be a reliable and resilient system because it can be managed remotely. As a result, UN Women in Jordan has been able to seamlessly ensure cash continues to reach Syrian refugee women involved in its Cash for Work programs at the Oasis Women's Empowerment centers in the camps. UN Women beneficiaries continue to receive their salary at World Food Program-run supermarkets, which remain open and where iris scanning technology identifies and links to each woman's account on UN Women's blockchain. I will now bring you to China. The project She Can, Women Entrepreneurs Digital Empowerment, led by UN Women and SAP China, aims to enhance the capacities of women entrepreneurs and female-led startups, including those from underprivileged rural areas, to utilize digital technologies and promote gender equality. Despite the rise in the number of women entrepreneurs in the last few years, women founded only 10% of new tech ventures, which are usually small scale. The She Can project kicked off with a webinar series supporting women entrepreneurs to address the impacts of COVID-19 and build their resilience. The first webinar, hosted now in April, focused on how human resources personnel can use digital technology to improve efficiency in the context of COVID-19. The second webinar introduced the most frequently used technology in the finance sector, as well as valuable insights and practicable recommendations for business digital transformation. Furthermore, we work with inspiring women and girls around the world. For example, with Ramida Jungpaisel. She's 24 and from Thailand, and she is a digital product designer and front-end developer from 5 Lab Group, a creative software company. She aims to bridge design and technology to make a better society. She advocates for more diversity in the tech industry and believes that for too long, the STEM fields have been shaped by gender biases that exclude women and girls. When the COVID-19 broke out, she had the idea of developing a tracker that curates news and data about the virus. The 5 Lab tracker gained 4 million unique users within 5 days of launching. And we collaborate with girls who code drones controlled by SMS messaging that will dispense medicine in rural areas. We also engage with the private sector on something that is called the Unstereotype Alliance. This is a thought and action platform that seeks to eradicate harmful gender-based stereotypes in all media and the advertising content, and seeks to collectively use the advertising industry as a force to really drive positive change all over the world, portraying, for example, women and girls as successful agents in STEM positions. And finally, from many, many more examples I could share, one example from the world of cartoons and comics. Over the last weeks and months, we worked with the Schtroumpf in Belgium to portray women in science and as researchers, as medical doctors in their fight against COVID-19. So to conclude, COVID-19, as we all know, is the most disruptive global force in a generation. And where there is disruption, there is the potential to rebuild, reimagine, and create a radically better world. We have the choice. The coronavirus crisis could reinforce the worst impacts of the digital gender divide, or this challenge can be used to instill change, expand horizons, and get millions of girls and women online. To address the world's most pressing problems, including the fight against COVID-19, let girls and women study, let them work, let them engage, let them innovate, let them create, and let them lead. The curious minds of girls and women are more needed than ever. We all have to act now to ensure it's a true generation equality. Thank you very much and happy anniversary again.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Dagmar Schumacher. We are very, very honored for your participation and to have you with us today. And we hope and we look forward to collaborating in the future with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we are delighted to welcome a panel and our panelists. Dipty, Chander, could you please come on the platform?
Sure.
Open your
Hello.
webcam. Oh, great. Hello, Dipty. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good to see you. Carinne De Potter, CEO of Moodify and COVID-19 nurse. And Emna, Evrard, CEO of Kazidomi. Welcome. Welcome on board. Thank you very much for your participation. We will start with Carinne. Carinne, could you please, I don't see you, but yes, you are there. Yes, I see you. Thank you. Could you please present yourself and also your work as a nurse in the COVID-19 unit and also your non-profit company? And tell us explain to us your common thread between your work as nurse and your work as entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much and good afternoon, everyone. So I'm a nurse. I'm educated as a nurse and a sexologist, and I'm working at the moment in a COVID-19 unit in Brussels. I'm experienced in palliative care and intensive care, but as an entrepreneur, I'm mostly focused on the bridge between entrepreneur and healthcare system. Why did I create Moodify? Exactly because there were no bridge a few years ago between entrepreneur and the caregivers. So Moodify is a non-profit organization and it enhances health through awareness, the first point for me, education and training and consulting. The common thread, you say, Lubna, the common
yes.
thread that I
between your work as a nurse and also your immersive reality company.
Yes. So for a nurse, for caregivers, resources are really important. But we are the resource as a human being, but we need tools. And without tools, efficient tools, then we can't really provide a performance care. So for me, the common thread would be between these two words: what are the resources we have and what are the tools available? And the tools available taught by entrepreneur, engineer, biotechnician, or simply someone. Sometimes you can see that they can't be implemented because they don't know the field. They don't know the reality of the resource on the other side. So if we work together, or at least if we know each other, if we are aware of what the other one is doing, then I think it works better. And the third question, Lubna.
Oh yes, but thank you very much. We will now give the floor to Emna Evrard, and we will present each other. Everyone will present their self, and after that we will start with other questions. Thank you, Carinne.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Carinne. Emna, welcome.
Pardon, Lubna, should I switch off the microphone between or no?
Maybe it's better for to don't listen to some.
D'accord, super.
Something else. Thank you, Carinne. Emna, welcome. Welcome with us. We are honored to welcome you today. You are CEO of Kazidomi. Who know not Kazidomi? and yes, and could you please present yourself, present your company, and also tell us what is changed for you in this crisis, if your activity changed, and also how technology support you in this crisis. Thank you. We didn't listen to you. We don't hear you.
And is it okay now?
Yes, it's okay. Thank you, Emna.
Good, great, perfect. I was saying, hi everyone. I'm super pleased to be here with you and to share a bit my experience during this crisis. So I'm the founder of Kazidomi, an e-commerce based in Brussels that sells healthy products. So the goal is really to help people and to educate them to have a better lifestyle, to have a more natural and healthy lifestyle. And we try to propose all the products that we sell at an affordable prices. So we really try to educate people, facilitate their purchase, and at the same time to make sure they have access to an affordable price while they are buying the healthy products. Yes, indeed, the crisis has changed a lot of things at Kazidomi. because it's an e-commerce, and you probably all know it. E-commerces have seen a huge increase of sales, especially for us, because we are selling healthy products, a lot of food products, and many people were not only willing to buy online and not like in normal shops, brick and mortar shops, but also they wanted to have a better lifestyle, because you know that COVID is a health problem. So people were really willing to take care more of their self. So we saw an increase in sales of around 300%, which is really really a lot. And it's not like Black Friday or Christmas where you can expect it and prepare it in advance. This time it was when the president in France or in Belgium we announced the confinement. We really saw a huge boom in sales, and we had to manage it. And it's not only having an e-commerce is not only a question of having a nice website with nice products. It's also a question of delivering the goods to customers. And for that, you need to have a super good logistics operations, and also a good customer support that can answer all the customer questions. So what we did, we had to hire a lot of people, and to hire a lot of people, we used technology. We used different tools that helped us not only to hire those people, but also to onboard them with videos, etc. And that was super important, because when in less than a week you need to double the size of your team, you really need to use technology. Otherwise, yeah, it can really be a mess. And the other thing is, of course, we saw an increase in sales, but we also saw a big increase in terms of customer questions and customer support, etc. And for that, nothing was automated at the beginning. And with the crisis, we really needed to automate everything, to make templates, to hire also people in the customer support team. So again, we used several tools like Zendesk, which is super famous in the customer support tools environments. And then the last thing was the procurement. As you probably know, a lot of stores, a lot of producers had a lot of troubles regarding the stock that they have, because everyone was willing to make some stocks at home, and the producers they just did not expect it, and it was really hard to keep the out of stock level very low. And again, technology is useful there, because if you have good algorithms to order and to automate the orders that you pass to customers, you can definitely lower the risk. And that's also something that we did. Just to give you an idea, at Kazidomi we maintained the out of stock level below 6%, and the average in the industry is more between 10 and 25%. So having technology during the crisis was really an advantage compared to competitors, an advantage to acquire more customers. So yes, I could definitely talk about it during hours, because we really had to implement a lot of things very quickly, and all of the main part of the things we implemented were related to technology and automation. I hope that answer your question, Lubna.
Yes, thank you very much, Emna. Thank you for sharing with us your activity and with a lot of honesty and trust. Thank you. Dipty Chander is the president of Emna Epitech. She joined us from Paris. We are very happy to welcome you, Dipty. Dipty, I know that you changed your activity during this crisis. Could you please explain to us who you are, and also your activity and what you do for this crisis? Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Lubna, first of all, thank you for the invitation, Lubna and Victoria, so the team Women in Tech Brussels. I wish you a very happy anniversary. I had a chance to come to the last one, so it's a pleasure to be here. So I'm Dipty, so I'm a developer, and I manage E-mma, which is an association that promotes gender equality in IT fields specifically. So as we all know that today the situation, but since many years, the situation of tech is very bad regarding diversity. So we have not so much women in technology. So our role at E-mma is really to bring more women in technology and to work through education to give them the technical skills, but also to work on diverse population, not only women, but to make technology more inclusive, because today it's not that much, as we all know about the statistics, which are very bad. We only just have in technology. So when I talk about technology, I talk about positions like developer, administrator system, or other related to deep tech knowledge, like artificial intelligence we were talking about few minutes ago. So these positions are mainly dominated by men today, and we just have around 10% of women in it around the planet, so which is a very less number, and we really need to increase that. It was mentioned by other panelists the importance to have more gender equality and diversity in these fields, which is super important for the economy and but also for the society. So we work really on that. And as you mentioned, Lubna, we face the same issue as many companies, many organizations. We were used to do activities with kids in physical, so we used to go to meet them. And unfortunately, because of the COVID, because of the coronavirus, we were not able to continue these activities. So we needed to find another way to continue training girls to technology, to programming. So what we did, we needed to reorganize everything. So it took us almost 1 week to see how we can continue giving them the technical knowledge and to take advantage actually of this crisis. And so what we did, we launched a project which is called in French Code chez vous, but in English it's Code at Home. And so we had a chance to bring all the team of 500 developers, which is composed of E-mma today. So all the team reorganized themselves. We assigned some specific task to some specific developer according to the connection they were having, because they are in some other countries and some other cities. So it depends according to the connections they do have. So it was quite a big challenge at the beginning, because in real time, in old time, if I could say that, learning coding to kids, you need to be very patient, you need to explain them everything. But when it comes to explain through technology and we are not next to them, we are very... So can you still hear me? Sorry.
Yes, sorry.
Okay, sorry, I was disconnected. Okay, so yeah, I was thinking it was a quite challenge. So we launched this project, and this project was mainly composed of 2 different level of kids. We wanted to train kids between 8 to 12 years old and kids between 13 to 16 years old. So we were having different content that the team produced, and to be honest, it was quite challenging, because we were very surprised about the number of kids interested in this content. So we almost trained since the beginning of the COVID situation, more than 1,000 of kids, and among these 1,000 of kids, we had 58% of girls. So which is a very good number. We're very proud, because it's more than a half. And the thing is, what we find really interesting in this project, that when it comes to training and give access to technology to kids they want to learn, we were facing a very big issue, is that kids were asking more and more content, and our team was like, oh my god, we're in a situation that we need to produce many content. And so each week they were thinking about how we can produce better, like games like Pac-Man. We produce games like some funny things where they can learn coding. And what I find really interesting in this project is that women, and specifically girls, were asking more questions through technology, through these webcams, through all the platform which is available to do the lives. And this is something really, I would say, positive, because sometimes in classroom, girls are very shy. They stay in very silent. They do not want to ask coding questions. So here we were facing another good challenge, I would say. They were asking too many questions, and boys was asking less questions. So it's a positive change for us. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dipty, and congratulations for this great activity. Now, a question for your three, for your all. We know now the theme of the day is Women and Technology, Key Solution Beyond the Crisis. What do you think about the future? Also, what it is important for you to have more women involved in tech. We know that women are on the front line of the COVID-19 crisis, and women are 90% of the workforce, nursing workforce. They are more than 80% of education workers also, and they are on the first line. And how we can leverage this experience and skills to create innovation, the tech innovation, but innovation in health sector to support maybe the health sector, as Carinne, to create a better world. Who won't begin?
Well, I can.
Yes,
I can answer that. So there are different ways to be involved, but for me, a big lack is like there is no within the nursing study just one course about technology from the beginning. So you learn how to do a toilet, you learn how to use a machine, you learn the basic care, which is really good. I mean, that's the job. But now the world has changed, and these tools are within. So first of all, just my big dream, if you ask me, the big picture will be like starting from now, means in September. And I believe it's something that it's possible to do. Like having one lesson, one course since the beginning of the study to create awareness about what is the digital world, what is about immersive technology, what is about the tools that the nurse could choose or be involved with the process of choosing a tool for a better care. And on the other hand, you can only train the young one, the 18 years old up to 21. So parallel of this, like create 1 hour a week within the hospital, each hospital, and then create a specific time. It means changing the system itself, because at the hospital you have no time. If you think about COVID-19, we were happy to drink something when you lock in a SAS. So just create time within the hospital, 1 hour. It's nothing if you think about that. Huh? And the nurses can try the tools. They can meet the entrepreneur. They can see the project. They can be a part of the full process. They can give a word. And then if you have that words, then I believe that it's good to believe, yeah. I believe that it will bring some efficiency, and it will bring innovation and diversity together.
Great, thank you, Carinne. Yes, we can think that we can lose this experience now. This nurse experience, it's so important to leverage this experience and these skills about the pandemic to create innovation. In the future, maybe it's a very important point. Maybe Emna?
Yes, I think indeed we need to improve and increase the number of women in the tech sector. And I think one of the way to do it is to have mentors and to have inspiration. And today, when people ask me who I need to follow, who I need to interview, to have an idea about how is it to be a woman in Europe and to have a digital company, it's super hard. if I have the same questions in the US, it's completely different because you have plenty of super nice inspiration there. But in Europe and in Brussels, you still have really a few. But there are some women that are super involved in the tech sector, but it just, yeah, you don't really know them. And I think for myself, for example, and for a lot of people, it would be super inspiring to have some women that you can see and that you can dream about. And today it's more a question of men. Today, if you think about launching a startup or launching a company, becoming independent, you have a lot of inspiration and role model, but they're all men, most of them, and it's hard to find them. But I know plenty of women who have launched their e-commerce, who have launched, who direct, for example, the tech or the digital section of their company. But yeah, the press is not talking about them, and they're a bit like on their side. So I think really making something about all those people, all those women who do really nice thing and who are super involved in the tech sector would help other people and would convince other women to also go in the same way.
Thank you, Emna. Dipty, could you please share with us your view?
Sure. So I totally agree by what was said, and the situation of role model in Europe is super crucial. I would say even all around the world, but it seems like Europe, we have a little bit problem of finding or putting role models into the light. So yes, I totally agree with this, and I would say that we had faced since few weeks something very extraordinary through the crisis, through this coronavirus situation, is that we have accelerated the use of technology. And I think we should keep it and use it. If I talk about specifically my sector in education side, we should use it to reinvent and think how technology could improve what we're already doing and accelerate them more, because today training women in technology, it's not done a lot, and we do not see enough women coming up with creating a lot of startups or little girls saying, hey, I'm going to be an engineer in the coming years. So I think it's a big challenge, but at the same time we are at the correct place and the correct part of the century, if I could say, where we should take advantage of this crisis and make women rise. I think it's super important. Women can rise now because they are using this technology through the period of crisis, either it can be in any sector, in the medical sector, we were talking about nurse sector, or any other sector. We should give them the knowledge and the technical tools and the technical skills for them to reinvent their sector, because technology gonna help to reshape any sector. It can be the medical sector, the industrial sector, or the tech sector, whatever it is. And I think we should do it now. We give them the way of doing their work differently that they used to do in the past. So now let's continue and not just lose it, and then select those who succeed in Europe and put them in more in light to become role models.
Thank you, Dipty. Thank you for this relevant view. And we think that women are on the front line, and we say that, and it's important to leverage their skills and to create innovation together, and maybe to create a mentoring program together also with Europe, we don't know, and with you. And it's important to involve women in the digital age because they have a lot to give in this sector, and maybe it's our work together now for the next steps on this crisis. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing with us today and for your participation. We are so delighted and happy every day when we see you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lubna.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
I will give the floor to my colleague Victoria.
Thank you.
She will present our partners. Thank you, Victoria.
Yes, thank you all for these super inspiring words. We are reaching the end of the webinar, but we have a very important part before. and it's sharing what our partners are doing, what they have been doing since their existence, and what they have changed during this crisis. So I'm gonna give the floor to Eva. If you wanna start, Eva.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Hi, Eva.
First of all, congratulations, Women in Tech, with your 3rd anniversary. We're so happy to be here to celebrate it with you, even though it's in a bit strange way. For those of you who don't know me, I am Eva. I'm the manager of Google Digital Atelier. The Atelier is a training hub that offers free personal coachings and 27 free workshops in 3 different languages, in French, Dutch, and English. Our focus is mainly on digital marketing, with a few other topics mixed in. And the workshops are meant for everyone who may need them, ranging from job seekers to student starters, small businesses, and also larger established firms. Now, normally we are located right next to Brussels Central Station in the B Central campus. And up until March 13, all our workshops and our coaching sessions were live on site. Now, obviously, due to COVID-19, we had to go fully digital. And we have a quite digital mindset to start with. And we have a team of very flexible staff and trainers. So the switch went quite smoothly for us. On March 23rd, only 5 working days after the government announced the first measures, we launched all our 27 workshops and we've been offering 5 one-hour workshops per day ever since, as well as regular personal coaching sessions. And I personally believe that the strength of our webinars is that we offer almost the same interaction with the trainer and other participants as we did on location. Either by microphone or chat, everyone can still ask questions and join in the discussion, just as they would have before. And I think this is clearly appreciated, since we have trained more than 5,000 people since the start of the crisis in Belgium. As we all know, the measures to flatten the curve have most severely impacted smaller businesses, and in particular the retail and hospitality industries. Since the goal of the Atelier has always been to help these small businesses thrive, we actually created dedicated group coaching sessions for these industries specifically, to help the retailers, the bar and the restaurant owners and the hotel industry find a new and different way of working to survive the crisis. We also joined up with the National Horeca Comeback Initiative and other players such as AB InBev and BESI. And together with them, we organized webinars to help retailers and Horeca owners improve their online presence. Now, during this COVID-19 period, more than ever, tech and digital have proven to be essential. And when this crisis will be over, which we of course hope will be very, very soon, the Atelier will continue to support the small businesses through our workshops and coaching sessions, be it on site or online, we will see. And we look forward to working with you all to get everybody on board then.
Thank you, Eva. Super impressive what you do. Thank you for being one of our partners.
Thank
you. So Cécile from My Innovation Center, Brussels. If you wanna, yes, I see you. We cannot hear you, Cécile. Yes, no. No, wait a second, I'm gonna put your micro. No, it doesn't seem. Can you put your microphone on?
Yeah, I think it's okay now. I was muted by the organizer. Sorry for that. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to share some info about the MIC. So for those who know us, we've changed name. It's quite recent. So don't call us Microsoft Innovation Center Brussels any longer, but My Innovation Center Brussels, supported by Microsoft. So we help people, businesses, and organizations understand, anticipate, and get trained on technologies. And like many of you, yeah, we've moved our events online, thus increasing our outreach. So we are currently setting up our new activity calendar for the upcoming month. So don't hesitate to subscribe to our newsletter to stay tuned. And what I think is important in the woman in tech context is really a motto that we should all have, is to never stop learning. I mean, the technology is evolving so fast. We need to keep the pace. We need to be curious, and there are so many tools and partners we can go to. We have a really vivid ecosystem here in Brussels, so continuous training is really key. So take full advantage of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Cécile. Thank you. So now PWI, Claire and Christine.
Yes, hello, can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can see you and hear you. Yes.
I just wanted to check if Christine is live.
I think you can hear me, but
yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Christine, we
perfect.
can hear you.
Unfortunately, I have a problem with my camera, but at least you'll have the sound.
Okay, welcome both.
Thank you so much. So my name is Claire, and I'm the program manager for one of the programs of Professional Women International, which is the STEAM program. And I will introduce our organization for the ones who don't know about it. So PWI Brussels, it's a non-profit association which helps its members to grow and succeed. And it accelerates as well the gender balanced leadership. We are really focused on that. We are focused on that. How we achieve these goals? By organizing different sets of, let's say, events, mainly face-to-face. Social networking, drinks, educational seminars, workshops, and then we run the different programs that we have within the association. But of course, during the COVID crisis, then it became quite of a challenge to continue the face-to-face, if not impossible, to continue our events. So we transfer most of our events on a virtual platform, because we wanted to stay relevant. And this was the first step that was important for the association: stay relevant, keep, retain, and engage our members and support them to the best during the crisis. Then the second part and the second step was to show the value of the association. So to really support them, we adapted some of the programs that we run. For instance, we have one program called Women and Money, and we had a very dedicated webinar to tell our members on how to invest during the time of a crisis, just to give an example of how we modified a bit our events. And then the third step and the last step on what we are working on, we realize the power of having now virtual session as well as face-to-face, of course, but we are reviewing our calendar in order to have a more broader virtual offer and to have a better, let's say, advertising through social media. I now pass the word to Christine, my colleague.
Hi everyone, so my name is Christine Mazur. I'm the PWI Entrepreneurship Program Director. So as Claire explained earlier, we have moved all our events online to make sure we keep encouraging our members to find creative and digital solutions for their businesses. And we are proud to say that it seems to work. We've had, for example, one of our members, Audrey Flore, who launched her business, Trianon Scientific Communication, during the COVID crisis, with a goal to offer sustainable and digital communication solutions to help companies to be more sustainable and also more socially responsible. So we are totally also in line with what we expect to be as like the kind of the new business world after the COVID crisis. Furthermore, at a more global level, we also have the PWN Entrepreneurship Virtual Program. which exists since about 2 years, and it has had a significant increase of participants, close to 30% increase, which shows that our members are still striving to improve their business and succeed through the crisis. So in conclusion, in a nutshell, we want to make sure that through our online program, our members keep having access to digital expertise and innovation knowledge in order to help them to adjust to the current business environment. But we hopefully hope to meet them again in person very soon.
Thank you, Claire and Christine. It is so important what you're doing. Thank you for being there also during the crisis. So now it's Margot's turn from Techies Lab.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello, Margot.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Margot. I'm from Techies Lab, a non-profit organization founded in Brussels. I'm right now in Quebec because I went home for a bit of family time during the crisis, but I'm working remotely since we have shifted all our activities, which is basically bringing coding and robotics classes to children from 8 to about 16. We have brought everything online and it works really well because of the topic. So learning to code can be done on a computer and hence remotely. We wanted to thank you, Victoria and Lubna, for organizing the Women Coding event of last year. We were very pleased to offer a workshop for mothers and daughters. And we were nominated for that for a Meet and Code Award. And that was a great event to have women and their daughters actually get a little introduction to what coding is. Now, since the crisis, we have had more registrations, a little bit like what Dipty was saying, like a lot of enthusiasm, but unfortunately not like Dipty. We had much less registration for girls than for boys. So I think this is still something that we really have to work hard on. And hopefully we can perhaps with future classes in person work a little bit on that, because we've realized that girls like to go to events where they have their friends, they feel more comfortable. And so we have classes where we have like practically 80% of girls, but it's usually a group of friends. So having girls in person together, I think really helps, and we hope that in September we'll be able to do that again. And one of the great advantages of technology is that we can actually have now classes where we have kids from different countries. So we have one special session on Saturdays where we call it Spécial Franco. So it's Francophones from all over the planet who join to code together. And that is one of the advantages of the crisis. So that's it for me. Thanks.
Thank you, Margot. Congratulations for the nomination.
Yes, thank you.
And yes, indeed, it changes. Every culture is different, and we need to work together to bring more girls to
absolutely
coding schools. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nadine, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can see you as well. Hello, Nadine.
Hi, everyone. So I'm the founder of Code and Play. We're a nonprofit bringing digital skills to school. So usually what we do is training children directly in schools with the complexity of making sure we have an even number of girls and boys. So far, we're at 49% of girls over the past 3 years. So it's not perfect yet. We're almost there. But that's something we're really paying a lot of attention to, especially at this age, since like the gender bias starts around 6-7 years old. And we're starting with 6-7 years old children as well. So as I said, we're busy with the children. We're also and mainly now working with teachers in schools. So training the teachers on how to train themselves to their students for the reason that it's more sustainable. But it's also like a difficult barrier because in Belgium, 80% of the teachers are female. and STEM has always been seen as a male topic. So it adds on the complexity, but it's part of the challenge we're taking on. And we're also providing a digital curriculum for teachers to provide to their students. So similar to everyone with the COVID situation, we had to reinvent ourselves to stay relevant, as some PWI mentioned. So from day one of the lockdown, we started every day for the first weeks having challenges online for children. This was an incredible reach. We had more than 6,000 children completing the challenges, which is quite big for us and in general for the situation, I think. And then now that this is lasting a bit longer, we now transformed all our teachers training to online trainings with weekly trainings. So every week teachers can register. We made them all available for free with the intent to really help teachers in these moments where they're under high pressure to also get trained themselves and be able to get ramped up. And so now what we're putting a lot of attention on is, after this training, how can we help them creating a community? And so that's where we're putting a lot of effort at the moment, and likely in the coming year, to make sure they have a place where they can support each other, talk about their difficulties with teaching digital skills, and overcoming this. So that's what we're on, and very proud to be a partner of Women in Tech. A happy anniversary.
Thank you, Nadine. So important also to teach teachers as you're doing, and include them in this change of mentality. Emily, it's your turn now. I think you're there. Emily Peters from École 19. Emily is not answering. Ah, yes. Yeah. Hello, Emily. I can't hear you. Well, yeah, now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, so thank you very much, Victoria and Emna, for the invitation. So I'm Emily. I'm the communication and events manager of 19. Yeah, I know the number is quite a bad connotation right now, but what can we do about it? So 19 is a free platform for becoming a developer. 19 is part of the 42 network, which gathers more than 20 campuses all around the world. So 19 is based on peer-to-peer learning, so there are no teachers, no classes. So we provide a work environment, documentation and projects to do to our apprentice coders, and they have to search for information by themselves and with others and work all together. So to work all together and to correct their projects, they normally have to come at 19, which is not possible at the moment. So we had to work on how to allow them to work from home. And so we set up a series of tools. So we give them access remotely to the computers at 19, so they can connect from home and have the same work environment as if they were on the campus. We also created a Discord server with vocal channels only, so they can still work together, stream their code and work and correct their projects, and so they can still continue their courses. We organize every Q&A sessions with the staff and the students, so we can know how they are doing, and we can let them know what we do to allow them to continue to work from home. Coders from all the 42 network regularly propose some activities to do, like workshop, challenges, gaming contests, etc. So normally we do piscines in July and August. So the piscine are the month of immersion, to try to integrate 19. Since it's not really adapted to social distancing, we decided to reprogram them in September and October. So 19 will reopen physically in July, but not in UCL like we used to, but in B Central. So we are really looking forward to it.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you.
Super nice to see how you've adapted quickly as well. Who's next? Julie Foulon. Are you there?
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Julie.
So I'm the founder of Girlic, which is a platform which talks about new technology for women. And the mission is to make accessible new technology for women, but through digital skills and entrepreneurship. And so during the COVID-19, we went full online, and we organized webinars every morning. And actually, it was a big success because just before the crisis, we had 100 women registered. And after the crisis, we had 1,000 women registered. So, which is great. Voila.
Great. Impressive numbers. Thank you, Julie, for sharing and for being our partners. So Charlène from Bicentral.
Hello, everyone. You hear me?
Yes. Hello, Charlène.
Okay. Hello, everyone. It's very nice to see you, even virtually, and to thank you, Lubna and Victoria, for organizing this webinar. And Bicentral is a long-term partner of Women in Tech Brussels, and I'm very pleased to be here celebrating your 3rd year's anniversary. We, as Bicentral, are a digital campus above Brussels Central Station. And like I saw some of the residents doing, it's good to see that you're doing well, girls. And lots of our residents has been very active during the COVID-19 crisis. In extra to what Eva, Nadine, Margot, Emily were saying, there were also Bibliothèques Sans Frontières, who saw is number of students logging in on their platform to learn move to 1,000, like 1,000 new subscribers during the COVID period all over the world. And Educate also trained 800 teachers. And as Nadine was saying, like training teachers is also very important to bring more girls into the technology and also to switch the education to be able to still learn in good condition in this kind of periods. And our entrepreneurs also has been very active because Charlotte Creplet from Skills Factory switched and created a new platform of Agence Digitale Solidaire, who helped all the SMEs of Brussels region to change what can be changed on their websites, how to be better on create quick e-shops for some companies. And all this community switch really fast and incredibly well to keep on going their activities, either learning or running a business into the complete digital environment. Us as a physical space, it also has been and still is very much a question of how work is going to organize and still create a safe place, and meeting the people in real life is also very much needed. And for the girls also to feel well in a safe space and that they belong, having a physical space is also very much needed, I do think. So I hope that this year Women Code Festival will also take place physically, including all the new tools that have been used by everyone to spread even more the word that we need more women in the digital world. So happy anniversary, ladies, and it's great to be a partner of Women in Tech Brussels.
Thank you, Charlène. We are also super happy to have you as partners. And indeed, we look forward to seeing you again at Bicentral and organizing again our nice events and activities together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our last partner joining today is Loredana from Digital Leadership Institute.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me well?
Yes, hello, Loredana.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Well, first of all, I would like to join the other speakers in congratulating you for your 3rd anniversary. It was really nice collaborating with you so far, and I'm sure that in the future we will have the occasion to continue to do that. So my name is Loredana. I work with the Digital Leadership Institute, which is a Brussels-based international NGO that promotes greater participation of girls and women in strategic STEAM sectors. That we call that entrepreneurship and arts powered by STEAM. Through education and skills development, innovation and entrepreneurship support, and even advocacy and awareness building. So like everybody, our team and our community members were also affected by the current crisis. And we thought about how we can continue to support everybody in these difficult moments when the community is so important for everybody. So I'm really happy to announce today that DLI is going to launch a new initiative called Cloud Angels, which is the first online study group for women in cloud computing. We will launch the first Cloud Angels cohort on the 16th of June, so very soon. It will be an 8-week training program on the subject of Amazon Web Services Cloud Basics. So if everybody is interested, I'm happy to provide you with the information to register, and I look forward to continuing supporting our community like we did so far.
Great, thank you so much, Loredana, and thank you to all our partners. It's impressive to see all that you have been doing. So thank you all for being there and for being part of Women in Tech. Lubna,
yes,
I see you back.
Thank you, thank you to our partners for your collaboration, the great work that we realize and achieve together, and also your participation today. Nothing would have been realized without you and possible without you. Thank you very much for that. And reaching at the end of the virtual meetup, for us, it was the first. And it's uncommon for us to not see you, but thank you for your participation, everyone. And thanks to our speakers and also our partners once again, and to Victoria, my colleague, for organized this event with us, with me. And we hope to see you in the next few months. And please take care of yourself, is the most important things now. And we hope to continue our commitment for more women in tech in the future with you. Thank you very much.
Yes,
have a nice
thank you so much, everyone. Have a nice afternoon.
Yes, and, good afternoon, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes, and don't hesitate to follow us. And if you have so many questions, we forget. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send us an email or to join us on social media and to follow us. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.